The blindfolded tasting.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious. That was, oh my God, that had me howling for ages.
That was well good.
It was like, it was a dim sum from the dim sum
It
chef,
was dim
wasn't
sum
it?
lady, yeah, with the sugar sticks and that sugar.
Yeah, it was like a crispy prawn dumpling type thing on a spoon, but the ball was massive. And I can't believe, like, I thought that, she was going to cut it in half
So
and,
did I.
like, make it, half the size. So it was actually, like, one, like, good mouthful.
Yeah.
Not like... not left it at that size, and then the poor like waiter guys, the servers that were like feeding the two judges, poor things, they were like probably really nervous shoving that in them gobs.
Chef Peck. Chef Peck got it second. Chef Anne got it first, so he knew what's going on, and then all you can hear is Chef Peck going, what is this? What's going on here?
He was like, what the? And the server was like, can you open wide?
Yeah, open wide.
Open your mouth wide.
That was
great.
wild. That was so good.
Funny. Everybody was laughing in that room. You could just see how funny it was.
Yeah. Yeah, that blind tasting was brilliant. I love that bit.
Yeah.
I think we've got to start off with that judge, the villain one. I see him as a villain. Others see him as like very professional. What did you think?
Who?
That judge.
Oh, Chef Anne.
Chef Anne.
Yeah. I liked him. I liked them both. I think they were really good. They're clearly professional, good palates, very knowledgeable. They've got a lot of experience, a lot of skills between them. And I think it was a good choice. One is a big-time Korean, TV star, and the other one is a very accomplished great chef.
Yeah,
so I think
three-star.
and they both worked well together. They had a bit of banter. It was funny to watch. It was entertaining, and it was good. They were a good pair. I liked them.
Yeah, they were great. Let's just stick it in here before we forget. Spoiler alert. Shall we mention the spoiler alert issue for us? I think we might as well.
Yeah, can do.
I always do spoiler alerts, guys, unless by accident I might not do one. Now, me, when I'm watching a show like this, which has a winner at the end, or anything that's got an ending which I'm interested in, I do no research. I'm not going to read no articles. I'm not going to watch any videos, no nothing. However, I was sitting with a certain someone.
It wasn't my fault.
Well, yes and no. There are times when I've reminded you previously and I'm like, you're not doing research, are you? You're not watching that, are you? You've not finished it, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, not your fault. We're just there, sitting in the car, got a TikTok going, and then it comes up and it's about culinary class wars and stuff. And then the guy just goes, the champion, bang, and puts the name and picture on. And I was like...
We both looked at each other like, what?
But we were like... on the second to last episode, we were very close to the end.
Yeah.
We were on, I think we were on the tofu, weren't we?
Yeah, tofu challenge.
Yeah, Infinite Cooking Hell Tofu. That's where we were. Again, spoiler alert, if you've not seen it and you're going to watch it or you've not finished it, then stop right now, okay? That's it, last warning. Right, done. That Chef Anne, for me, he had a proper, like, villain intro for me.
Yeah.
Like purple suit, like the Joker or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's like, just saying no to people.
Yeah.
Crushing dreams with one hand and just stamping on ambitions with the foot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, you've been cooking for many years, yeah? Cook this yourself. Have you tried it? You tried it? What? Did you like it? Did you like it? Yeah, I thought it was all right. Yeah, I thought I did all right. Yeah. Oh, well, you're out.
He made the other guy look very lenient and soft,
he did.
didn't he? But that's why I think it was a good combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one was like a bit nicey, bit more smiley, and still very knowledgeable, very good with his food, had a very good palate, and obviously well-travelled. And Chef Anne was, he's like the 3-star Michelin chef, so he was naturally going to be a lot stricter.
Yeah.
You know, had higher hopes and expectations of your dish.
Yeah.
But yeah, great combo. It was good watching them both.
Yeah. I like that they had two separate approaches. Both had amazing palates, great memory for food. Like, one of them, at one point, the friendly man, had a really rare dish which he had a long time ago, but he could recognise it straight away.
Yeah.
Everything. So he knew how a certain dish was supposed to be, like, very quick, even though the dish didn't look in its like authentic form. He was like, all right, so that's this, it's supposed to be like this. Just the recognition of certain food types was just mind-blowing. They picked up on all the little details in the food. And yeah, that first challenge for me, just amazing. Straight into it. I mean, let's just rewind a minute though. Let's rewind. They all come into that massive, like, events hall type thing. They're all sitting down. They've all got their seats. And then they do that proper dramatic reveal of the white shirts, right? Just want to quickly mention here, it'd be great if you can get away from, like, the white-black thing. I mean, it might be a thing in the cooking world, but I don't really like the white-black thing. I don't like it. I don't like the black inferior and the white, you know, like, opposite of inferior is? I forgot. Superior, right, yeah. That's it, you know, it's just, no, it'd be nice to get away from that a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So other colours are welcome in that kind of thing. I mean, that's just me being, woke and sensitive maybe, but just mentioning it. Chef Paik had a really good, just friendly, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Approachable, intelligent, you know?
Yeah.
What did you think of the first challenge then? Or what did you think of the whole reveal at the start when they revealed them all?
The reveal was so dramatic because these are makers of, what is it, that 100 fitness
Oh yeah, the
one.
Physical 100.
Physical 100, which we haven't watched. So I knew it was going to be a big production, and Koreans do a really good job with these like competition shows, don't they? They're very big, very grand, very dramatic, and they do a good job of it. So I knew it was going to be a good one to watch. But I did not expect it to be so dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, what a good introduction to them all. Like, it was so grand. The like the screens, the lights, dark room, and the space.
Yeah.
And just how they entered and the music. It was so dramatic.
It was.
Yeah, great first episode.
Yeah. People have been saying, netizens in Korea have been saying that, or have been like kind of proving almost, that it was edited. It was edited specifically for drama first. Apparently, there are some challenges where contestants who had been eliminated appear. So it's like, it's in the wrong order. And it's like, and apparently that's because they've done it with drama first. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You can tell it's one of the shows where they do heavily edit it, don't they? And you can't forget, like, this took them 3 months.
3 months,
This was spaced in 3 months, so it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah. With Netflix, you've always got to consider editing.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You've always got to consider editing with Netflix.
Like in the first episode, what did they cut it down from? 100 chefs.
No, I think it started off as 80, didn't it? Was it 100?
Yeah, well, it was 100 in total, so 20 white chefs, weren't they?
Okay.
And then they had to pick, out of the 80 black chefs, they had to pick from 80 to 20, was it?
Something like that. 80 to 40, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, no, I think you're right. I think 40 went. I think there was 20 seats. It was 20 seats, you're right, yeah?
Yeah.
The first challenge, they were cooking, and it was 20 seats on the stage, and it was a case of, we need to get to that seat first. Yeah, 20, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, so they cut off, like, a lot already in the first episode, so that was dramatic in itself.
Yeah. That was a lot. That was a lot of work, a lot of organisation.
Yeah,
kitchens.
a lot of kitchens, a lot of cooking, a lot of, like, a lot of editing, isn't it? A lot of work, production-wise.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about things like, what if somebody gives the judges a dish which really affects their like taste buds for like the next few tastings that they do. Do you know what I mean? So somebody gives one that's really salty or something, and then when they go to taste the next dish, that like saltiness or that flavour is still there affecting the taste buds, or too spicy or too sweet. But I suppose there was probably like time in between tasting each one, maybe even like clearing up their taste buds a little bit of a reset going on in between. So yeah, there would have been that. Just quickly, just touching on it, just in case we don't. Who's your favourite chef? Or who do you think should have won?
Edward Lee. Chef Edward Lee.
Yeah, why?
Chef Lee. He just deserved to be the winner. I just think he was well rounded, he was talented, very creative, very knowledgeable. He just seemed like a good person, very humble. I liked his story, his background.
Yeah.
He's already a very accomplished chef in the States, especially. But yeah, I liked his story. I liked that he was trying to, go back to his roots. He was proud of his heritage. He was cooking. A lot of his dishes were very inspired by, Korean food, the cuisine. But he was trying to bring his like American side to it. He was just very creative. I liked all the dishes he made. And he just seemed like a very nice, friendly, very humble guy.
Yeah.
The winner, I just felt like... Well, I thought he was a bit cocky.
Napoli Matzia. There you go. Spoiled it for you. Go on.
I just feel like I get that he was an Italian chef, but I just didn't see him making like other dishes. I would have liked to see him do other dishes outside of Italy, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like Chef Lee was a more deserved winner.
I agree. Chef Lee should have won it in my opinion too. Napoli Mafia, were his flavours Korean? I feel like I don't remember him even using Korean flavours.
He did like put like bits of Korean in his dishes. Yeah. Here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, I also, you know what? Me with Napoli Mafia as well. I suppose sometimes this is just his self-talk, his bravado, him telling himself that he has to do well, right? Maybe that's the case, but I didn't like it. I like the whole well-mannered type, you know. I like that kind of behaviour.
Yeah.
He was like pretty much the only one who was like, I'm going to beat all you guys, and he said it consistently. You know what?
Yeah, he's very confident.
Overly.
Overly, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
and it kind of for me didn't fit with the decorum of the show. Like nobody else was really like that.
Yeah.
Maybe the crazy chef was a bit like that, but
Maniac,
yeah, cooking maniac, yeah. Maybe he was. Do you know what? I actually think that Napoli Mafia was the first one revealed on the show. I think he's the first one to walk on screen on episode 1. You know.
Oh.
Yeah. Do us a favour.
Interesting.
Rewind it. And have a look, episode 1, and just see, because I think he's the first one to walk in, and so if you look back, that's a bit of a sign to say, this is the guy. This story is about him. For me as well, Chef Lee was my favourite too. He was humble, he was talented, he was creative. He was celebrating Korean flavours, Korean culture, lots of parts of Korean history or whatever else. Oh, Netflix has crashed. I thought the dim sum queen's food looked good.
Yeah, her dim sums looked good.
I want to try them.
Yeah.
They look good. I like the dim sum that was the top seller in the mukbang restaurant. It was like a nest.
Yeah, that was the crispy prawn, like dumpling nest thing.
That looks beautiful, that.
Yeah, we've had that dish basically before.
Yeah.
We enjoy it. We enjoy that. It's good. It's nice.
That is a nice one.
Top of your head, what was your favourite challenge?
I've actually got a couple of challenges that were my favourite, you know. So I did like the restaurant one. I like tofu cooking hell. I like that one.
Yeah.
I actually liked the one with the the two kitchens, seafood and meat, and the battle that happened there. So we'll come on to these then one by one in a minute. And I also like the supermarket, the superstore setup one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't like that one as much.
Didn't you like? Okay, so I'll just get that one out of the way then. If you didn't like that one much, I'll tell you why I like that one, and then we'll move on. I like that one because it was supermarket ingredients, which anyone can then go away and buy. Right? You're getting top class chefs using these ingredients.
Convenience store.
Convenience store, yeah.
Yeah.
Convenience store challenge. They're making ingredients, they're making dishes which could go into one of their restaurants, basically, from convenience store food. So they're almost telling the viewers, this is what we would do with these ingredients,
Yeah.
right? That's one thing. And then, I've got to give Napoli Mafia credit on what he did here. I've got to give him credit.
Yeah.
Like, he saw something which the other guys didn't see. He was like, they're all making mains. I'm going to make a dessert.
Instant noodles type dish, weren't they? Because that's
That's
what there
they
were a lot of.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, and then he scrapes the cream out of like loads of these buns and all that lot.
Yeah.
And he makes this dish, and the guys are like blown away by it.
Yeah, the tiramisu. And he's launched that tiramisu, I'm sure, as well now.
Wow,
Like you can
clever.
actually buy that with his face on it.
Wow.
I've seen it somewhere.
So is that in
on
convenience
social
stores or is that in the restaurant?
No, I think it's a shop thing.
Oh,
It's a store
wow.
thing. Yeah.
That is clever.
Yeah, he's done well there. Great marketing.
That is really clever, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get that one out of the way. So then let's go on then. So the two kitchens one, the meat kitchen and the seafood kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good idea. I liked the fridge reveals.
Oh, the fridge reveals one, yeah.
Is that not the same?
No.
Oh, no.
No,
That's a
different
different
one.
challenge. No, I liked the fridge reveal one, but the meat versus seafood one, that was good. That was basically they had to split up which chefs were good with meat and which chefs were good with seafood, didn't they?
Right.
And a lot of the chefs wanted to work with meat, for example, didn't want to go onto the seafood side, so their skills weren't utilized, as good as they should have.
Oh, yeah, because they wanted to work on the other
Yeah.
ingredient.
Yeah, so like some of the Japanese chefs, for example, who worked they worked a lot with seafood and fish. They know how to cut up a fish and less with the meat. They really wanted to stay on the seafood side.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting, the mix of different chefs, and they had to work together
Yeah.
to make a meat dish or a seafood dish. That was really interesting. That was good to watch. And how hot-headed some of them got with each other. That was good to watch. A bit of drama. Entertaining, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was interesting seeing like the white shirts. It was interesting seeing those white shirts who are like obviously bosses of kitchens. Oh, so the first reveal, by the way, is not Napoli Mafia. So ignore that point about him appearing first.
We should probably explain that the white chefs or the white shirt chefs are the ones that are like supposedly more accomplished chefs. They're like, they either have Michelin star restaurants or
Decades of years.
Yeah, they've accomplished in other ways. They've worked at the White House. They've cooked for this and that and whatever president. Whereas the black shirt chefs, they are the self-taught chefs.
Not
So,
necessarily.
some of them are self-taught.
Two of them, well,
and
about
some
two.
of them do have their own restaurants, and they're all successful in their own way.
Extremely popular.
Yeah, but they're at a high level as well. These the black chefs, aren't they?
Yeah. It was interesting. This is one thing that I really loved about this show. Right, was there were black shirts who the white shirts were looking at, saying, "Oh my God, that should be a white shirt. He is too good to be a black shirt. He is so good. He should be a white shirt."
Yeah,
And I was like, the caliber must be crazy.
yeah,
And then there was another guy who was a white shirt, and they show a clip, and in the clip, he's on a different show as a judge. So one of the white shirts could have been a judge,
yeah.
but he's competing. So the caliber was just
Really high.
crazy high.
Yeah, they call them black spoons.
Oh,
And they're black spoons
black
and
spoons,
white
white
spoons.
spoons. Black spoons and white spoons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we should mention that, yeah. Where were we? We were talking about fridges, I think?
Yeah.
What did you like about it? Why did you like that one?
I liked that they had to be creative with like an ingredient that they weren't familiar with.
Yeah.
Like the pair that had like octopus had never worked with octopus. Or there was this fish.
Hick?
It wasn't hake. It was, what was it called now? That big massive, is it stonefish or I can't remember what fish it was.
Yeah, I forget the name.
But,
But massive fish which they were
But they were
struggling
both
with.
like, whoa,
They're
oh
like,
my God.
carrying it.
So, yeah, so it forced them to be creative and they had to work together. That was good to watch.
No, they weren't working together in that one. Not in the fridges.
Oh, they were competing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've forgotten. Felt like so long ago because it's
Yeah,
12
yeah.
episodes. But yeah, I liked it that made them to be more creative, and that was fun to watch. And I liked my favourite was the tofu hell challenge.
Yeah.
That was
Tofu
intense.
is so versatile, isn't it?
It is. It's so versatile, but like it's not an ingredient that all chefs have worked
Yeah.
with. An ingredient that they work with necessarily.
I think we're both going to say what was the best tofu dish. I think.
I don't know.
Go on, best tofu dish.
I can't even remember.
Well, I'll tell you
What's
then.
yours?
Kentucky Fried Tofu.
Oh yes, that was genius. See what I mean? Like Chef Lee that blew my mind. That
Was
dish.
so clever.
That was so creative, and no one knew what he was doing either. Like,
Oh my God.
you know, sometimes when you have a sneak peek at what
And
the
you know
chef's
what they're
cooking,
doing, yeah.
and you could just see him cutting these tofu into these like chicken drumstick shapes.
Yeah.
But you were like, "What is that?
Yeah.
Has he cut it wrong? What's he doing there?" It was so unpredictable. That was great.
Yeah. Yeah. And even the big block of tofu,
Yeah,
which was inspired by the Italian tradition. Do you know about that one?
yeah.
It was inspired by an Italian tradition where they would serve a certain, like, maybe a spaghetti dish, but the dish is actually a big block of cheese. That's what
The
it's supposed
cheese
to be.
block.
So he used that as tofu instead. Very smart.
Yeah,
His stuff is memorable, isn't it?
yeah.
I don't know if it's because of him or it's his stuff, but it's memorable. Anyway, so we'll call that one the fridge is done then. All right. So the two ingredients, the meat fridge and the seafood fridge, that was mental, wasn't it? The bit where the chef goes and they steal all the seafood,
Oh yeah,
that was crazy, wasn't it?
yeah.
That was mad. They just, right, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to not look at what we're going to make first. Let's just get all the ingredients first. We'll come back and then we'll see what we've got to work with. And they just robbed everything.
All the seafood. Yeah.
That was mad. And did they win? I feel they didn't win. Why do I feel like they lost?
I can't even remember.
No, they won. I remember they won.
Yeah.
I remember they won that because after that was the mukbang restaurant challenge, and that same chef who nicked all the ingredients was the boss of the billionaire restaurant, and he led it again. And I was like, oh my God, this guy just led them to success twice. And then I was like, okay, this guy is getting somewhere. He's going somewhere, this one. And then next thing you know, they had a very quiet exit on the other one, on Tofu Hell. That exit was awkward, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Turn the light off, you just stand there like... That was crazy. That was a really funny exit. But yeah, what did you think when they saw all them ingredients from the fish? All that fish nicked it. And then he went and he was asking...
Well, they didn't nick all the seafood. They just nicked the valuable seafood ingredients, like the scallops and like the things that would make a good seafood stock, because that's where the sweetness, the base of the dish would come from.
Yeah.
That's all the good stuff, and they knew like they needed that, and so they went and they weren't even that much of it really. Do you know what I mean? And they had to cook quite a lot from it
Between two teams, yeah. Oh yeah, it was 100.
Yeah, it was
100
funny when they
servings.
when they took all the scallops, but then they needed the green onions, and they went to the other team to get some, and they said, "Have you forgotten you've took all our ingredients? Have you took all the scallops?" And they were like, "Yes, yes, you're right." And that team leader chef just went back and said, "Do you know what? You can have 4 or 5 scallops. Can we have some green onions?" That was really good to watch.
And then at the end, he's like, "Oh God, actually, I shouldn't have given you guys them scallops.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah. And the other team shouldn't give them all the all so much of their green onions either.
yeah,
They gave too much away.
yeah."
That was silly.
And I think that blind tasting is really a fair way to do it.
Yeah.
They need to do more of that in more of these shows. Yeah, blind tasting is really good. Right, so yeah, I found it mad when he stole all them ingredients and then comes back and asks for more. I was like, you are thick-skinned, man. But it's like he knew how to win. He knew how to like wage war, really.
Yeah, they had to though. It was the right thing to do.
Yeah, great tactics.
I liked the mukbang challenge.
Go on, I like the mukbang challenge. I liked it. Tell me.
It was interesting to see like how they were going to price things and what they thought was going to be popular.
Yeah.
Like when they, had to come up with their 3 dishes. So they had to utilize their skills. Like what chefs have we got here? What can we cook? Right, you're a Chinese chef. You're a seafood. You're a Japanese chef. You're good with fish. Let's do this. Let's price it at this. And like they didn't even know. They just knew that they were gonna have like some guests, some customers coming in to eat. They did not know that they were going to be mukbang
That was genius.
people.
That was
like
genius.
foodies, like people that can eat a lot.
That was honestly, that was so clever. And forget that, they didn't sleep.
Yeah, I find that was mind blowing. I can't believe that.
They didn't sleep, mate.
That's unethical.
That's mad.
It's crazy. Like they were up all 24 hours.
Some old people there.
I know I think they must have let some people like have a little cat nap on the side or in somewhere in a room somewhere.
They were on their feet. They were out shopping.
Yeah, they went market. They went to source the ingredients. They had to bring them back in.
Lug it back.
They had to prepare all the ingredients. Do you know what I mean? Like chop it up, marinate that lot, the stock. Then they had to think of like the pricing, the dishes, how they're going to present them.
And then keep smashing it all out. Stay focused, stay organised, stay on top of it, stay ahead of the game, keep teamwork in. You know what I mean? Don't make a mistake, keep it consistent.
So they have to make these dishes. So they all had to come up, all the 3 kitchens. Yeah, all 4 kitchens.
Well, 4 kitchens, yeah, in the end.
Yeah, so in the end, there were 4 kitchens and they had to make 3 dishes each from each of these kitchens, price them, and they had to be reasonably priced. And they had to make popular dishes, didn't they?
There was no rule on pricing. It was just set up 3 restaurants. That was basically it. Yeah,
but
because that's why other guys' pricing went mad.
Yeah, but wasn't it the most money?
No, the challenge is the criteria
the winner is
whoever brings the most money.
Yeah.
Or something to do with selling the most popular dish, maybe.
Most money it was.
It was definitely most money.
Yeah.
But there was 2 other criteria. Basically, they weren't going to have it just on most money.
Okay.
But in the end, most money was like a big weight on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that after the most money guy was out, did they let the other ones carry on between themselves? I can't remember now. No. But yeah, what I find mad was like they were on their feet for that whole period.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. What I was going to say is that whole being on their feet and doing it for all their many, many hours, I think that was the physical 100 side coming back in again. You know, the physical, because they produced physical 100. I feel like that came back in. And they weren't seeing the cooking there for a minute. They were going back into that whole physical aspect, which I was like, a bit much. Let's kind of keep it on the cooking here a bit more.
Yeah, they didn't really have to do that. They could have just broke it into 2 days, split it into 2 days, do the prep work and the buying the first day.
Yeah.
And they could have had 6 hours sleep and then come back the next morning to start the shift.
Yeah.
So that was insane to me.
Yeah, a bit unrealistic. You wouldn't do that in real life like that. You just wouldn't. So it was a bit mad to like test like endurance like that, plus cooking skills and
Yeah.
everything else. But for us, great challenge. You know, great watching. So yeah, that basically covers that one. Genius idea.
I felt a bit sorry for the chefs that were, you know, when they had to nominate,
Yeah.
and they had to write down on a piece of paper who they didn't want
Yeah.
in the team. I thought that was really tight.
That was tight.
Especially that one kitchen where, like, they didn't, it seemed a bit more like, not volatile, but they didn't seem very friendly with each other. They were a bit quieter. Do you remember that kitchen? They didn't discuss it. Like the other kitchens were
Where there was tension.
Yeah, there was a lot more tension in that
Yeah,
kitchen.
yeah.
They didn't discuss it. It was quiet and they just had to write on a piece of paper.
It's
and
because nobody wanted to leave that one.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
Which kind of is a good sign for the kitchen. They were all like, this is the one that's going to win.
Yeah.
But of course, it made it tougher and tighter and all that lot.
Yeah. Felt sorry for that chef.
That was the old man, wasn't it?
Yeah, the old man.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him too. I think he took that. He took that quite badly.
Yeah, I think that hurt his feelings.
I understand. I mean, he's got to understand that that wasn't personal, really. That was like, you know, for the show. And then basically, people, apparently netizens, have been talking about that too. They've been saying that like, that was really unfair. That was done for dramaticness.
Yeah.
It kind of left people leaving the show a bit random. So you're leaving the show for a random reason, not really based on your cooking. That's not really fair. And it was a bit tight, leaving them with less amount of people, so less chefs. And they've got to go and cook. So they've got to go shopping. So they've got to start from the beginning again.
Yeah,
so
they
less people, less time. And they've got to get over the mental side of...
Feeling unwanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did well, though.
They did really well.
They did well. They worked well. They could have done better, but
Yeah.
they did well.
They did really well. I just feel like... See, now one of the people said, one of the judges, I think, said, or one of the teammates said, that they had an advantage. Although there's three of them, they had the advantage of knowing the inner workings of each other team.
Yeah.
And they could have brought that to their kitchen and taken the best of everything.
They could have.
So they could have basically made high prices like
Yeah.
that other one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Make it high price, make it these dishes. We can compete with that one, this one. We can give them what the other ones are not going to give.
Yeah.
What if they just did desserts, for example?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was doing desserts.
Yeah, they could have come up with a better strategy. They could have, for example, like the three came from different kitchens, didn't they?
Yeah.
So they could have like brought one of their dishes,
Yeah, they could have.
replicated it
Yeah.
at a cheaper price.
Yeah.
For example,
Yeah.
they could have definitely used it at their advantage.
Yeah,
But
so there was that. Yeah, I really liked the system. The tech was great. They had like a touch screen to order with.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 pop it through. It appears on the other side. There was a bit of disorganisation, remember, when they didn't know what was going out. Yeah. The school dinner lady was smashing it. She was in her element,
yeah, she was good.
innit? And the seaweed, when they were all like, this seaweed! Oh my God, this seaweed! And then she came over and she told them all what she's doing with it, how she's making it.
Perilla oil,
Yeah.
sesame oil, perilla oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, is that one? I'd say that's that challenge basically done. Such a genius idea using mukbangers. Oh my God. Clever. Loved it.
When they saw the mukbangers and then, I can't remember, the chef went, go on, put more rice
Yeah,
on.
but I put some rice on.
Go on, cook more rice.
And that reminds me actually of the lady in the first round where they were like, do you remember?
Yeah.
Oh man, she was like accomplished, like kind of well known, like old lady as well, and she knows her flavors, and she made something really homely. And then the guy goes, "Yeah, it was too salty. Should have made some rice."
Yeah. Poor girl.
And everyone's there going, "Yeah, she should have made more rice. Should have made some rice. All she has to do is make some rice." I was like, "Oh my
I
God,
know. Literally out because she made no rice.
that's crazy." So, would the rice have desalted it or something?
Yeah, because like some of these Asian dishes are like dishes to eat with rice. It's not, you have dishes where you eat on its own, and then you have dishes that are bit on the salty side, a bit more savoury, a bit more umami taste. So you would
Right.
eat them with rice,
Oh, okay.
you know?
Okay. But yeah, that just reminded me of that rice comment just then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
I thought that guy was funny. You know, in the first round, I don't know if you remember, there was this guy who was making steak. That was his thing. It
I
was
remember
just
that.
steak.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was so stubborn.
Underrated, his name was something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the steak guy.
Yeah.
And like he just he was like so stubborn when he was just like, yeah, just need to grill it. You just need to cook it like this. Just salt and pepper. That's all you need, salt and pepper.
And you even put the salt separate to the meat. So it's like, put your own salt on. So you can't say it's too salty to me, basically.
Yeah, and I think it was the line when he said like, you know, to make a good steak, you don't basically was saying that you don't need to baste it. You don't need herbs. You don't baste in herbs and oil, and you don't need anything. You don't need butter. Like, you don't need all that. It's just salt and pepper. And then when Chef Anne tried it, he was like, okay, you're out. You're eliminated.
He was like, the meat is undercooked. You're out. Like that.
Yeah, and then he gave him some feedback, didn't he? Or was it the confessions part where he said like, basically saying like you need to broaden your horizon a bit. Don't be so.
No, that was to him.
Yeah, like you need to, you know, don't be so narrow-minded. You know, you need to, you know, let go of. Don't be so stubborn, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to try different techniques of making steak, cooking
I
steak.
kind of get what he was doing. His idea was, I'm going to make the best piece of meat on the planet right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. So he went mad, like turning it.
Yeah, it was a bit too much.
It was on its edge, on its this edge, on its that edge. And then it's like, nah, it's undercooked. After all that is not cooked right.
Clearly it wasn't that good.
That was pretty crazy. But yeah, I was like, underrated. And he just made that one piece of meat. You might be correctly rated, actually. I'm only joking. I don't cook anyway, so. Yeah. So where were we then? So restaurants. So that's restaurants done then, basically, innit? Mm-hmm. And that was great. And so, I mean, next, it's tofu time. Great reveal on it. Mm-hmm. A great name on it. Infinite cooking hell. And what a layout. This whole thing of like, we're going to kick somebody out every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes.
No, it was every 30 minutes.
I know, every 30 minutes, but I like that style. That style is just crazy.
Yeah. I like the reveal, like, of the 2 ton of tofu coming down from hell.
Well, innit? And then they're there going, I'm sick of seeing tofu. Somebody made a mapo tofu, obviously.
Yeah.
They had to. And then Chef Lee made it into a dessert at some point. I'm pretty sure it was Chef Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will have been. Just clever. I'm forgetting at this point what Napoli Mafia made for the tofu thing. See what I mean? Why did he win?
Yeah, I don't know what he made.
I don't know what he made. What did he do with the tofu? Tofu pizza?
I think he made some kind of salad.
He made some kind of pasta with it, you know. He did. I remember seeing that, a heart-shaped pasta made out of beetroot. Oh no,
that was the final
dish. Spoiler. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know what they made, but there was some great tofu dishes though.
Yeah.
They obviously have to rack the brains out to think. Do you know what I mean? Because half an hour a dish, that's a lot of dishes.
Yeah, that bread on both sides of the tofu.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
The judge was like, the tofu's not cooked. But that bread is amazing.
You could tell by, was it the third round, Maniac had like, he was done.
He was done. His story was great though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's a good story, good background story, but
he was done though.
Yeah, he was done. I think he was just exhausted and he couldn't like think of any more tofu dishes.
Yeah.
And you could see it as well, and the two judges could tell. Like, I think he's running out of ideas.
Yeah.
I think this is game over, the end for him.
Running out of steam, yeah. Yeah. Isn't it mad to think that Chef Lee never had a kitchen to go back home to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he came over from America. I think you were saying that he came over like back and forth over the 3 months of doing the show,
Yeah.
which I'm sure was strenuous in itself.
Yeah.
And they would all go back to their own kitchens and experiment and practice techniques and do things, whereas he would have to just practice in his hotel room with like a few dishes or something.
Yeah. So he didn't have a kitchen, but he would. This is from his Instagram post that I read. So he would just buy some ingredients from the shops when he was in Korea, take them back to his hotel room, lay them out, and kind of just taste the ingredients and try to be creative and like see what he can make with it.
Clever.
But he wasn't cooking like the others were. The others had facilities. They had their own home kitchens, they had their restaurants, they had access to a kitchen, and they lived in Korea. You know what I mean? So they were already at an advantage compared to Chef Lee. So they were a lot more familiar with the ingredients, and they know what the Korean tastes are like, what Korean people like, maybe even know what the judges prefer.
Yeah.
Whereas Chef Lee, he definitely was behind on a lot of that knowledge. So
I know. Do you know what was interesting about him? When he had like the phone call to like go on the show, they ring him up, they're having a chat with him, and they go, "Do you speak Korean?" And then he's there and he's talking. He's like, "Yeah, I speak Korean," and he's talking. And then about 2 minutes into the call, they go, "You don't speak Korean."
yeah,
Right.
you don't speak
And so he had a translator in his ear all the way through.
Yeah.
And he was like, even the translator would miss things though, because the challenge came up and it said, which one do you want to choose? Do you want to choose the meat or do you want to choose the fish? And the translator just said, "You've got to go to fish. You've got to choose fish."
Yeah, it was slower. It was behind, wasn't it?
I love that. It's like the translator was
Lagged.
puppeting like Chef Lee for himself almost.
Bless him.
But I've got to say, Chef Lee got on my nerves.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He got on my nerves because when it mattered the most, when it came to the final, when it said make a dish to stake your name on, I feel like he experimented. Napoli Mafia made the safest dish, used techniques which he is proper used to, which he's done a gazillion times before, made a dish which he is no stranger to, made a dish using techniques which he is amazing at. But I don't think Chef Lee did that in that last challenge. And that got on my nerves. Because I was like, I get it. You're creative. You're amazing. Yeah, you can do so much. You should be winning this. But there's a time to not experiment. There's a time to just do what you know is definitely going to work. That's what the other guy is doing. You can beat him with the flavours you make. Just make something which is definitely going to do the job. No risks, no nothing. Zero risk, safest option. This will do the job. Make that and win the show.
I get you. But I think he executed it perfectly, though, like the judges said. So I still think he should have won.
So, I mean, if it was executed perfectly and all that, why didn't he win?
He was telling a story. I just think he should have won.
He should have won. He should have won.
Yeah.
Lots of reasons why he should have won.
Maybe they just picked Black Spoon because they wanted a Black Spoon to win.
Let me just mention on this point now, actually, I feel like, and I think that this is seen elsewhere by, again, Korean netizens, there was some fixing, some manipulation of the show done to balance out numbers, to basically keep it a show of White Spoon versus Black Spoon. When it got towards the last, like the final almost, there were two Black Spoons, Cooking Maniac, somebody else, and basically Chef Lee. And at this point, Napoli Matvia was on the stage already as the first finalist. And I was like, if he's the first finalist and he's a black spoon, the second one's going to be a white spoon. I thought to myself, this is going to be Chef Lee. And then it was. And it was just literally keeping this whole white spoon, black spoon thing going. And I was like, there's a degree of fixing there. Like, that's a bit weird.
Yeah. I suppose to some respects, they kind of have to fix parts of it, like the number of contestants going through at what round and stuff. But yeah,
this is all putting
you never know.
Drama at the centre.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still cooking great food, so that's fine. We're happy. But this is really putting drama at the centre of the show, really.
Yeah. There were a lot of talented chefs, though. That's the thing. So you can't have them all winners, can you?
Yeah.
So I think it's just it's their opinion and their choice, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe even the producers, they all have a say, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they all do somehow, somewhere. So yeah, Chef Lee won it. Look at me, wishful thinking. Napoli Matvia won it.
3-star. 3-star? What's he called? 3-star?
I think he was 3-star.
He was good.
Yeah.
Maniac was actually better than I expected.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I thought, this guy looks a bit mad. He looks very messy, how he works, all over the place. But he was actually a good chef.
Yeah. I liked Comic Book Chef. It's a cool idea.
Yeah. You liked Comic Book Chef.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, that. I like the stories behind some of them. How one of them used to work for Chef Anne. I was like, whoa, tensions.
Yeah, pressure.
Yeah. But I feel like they're friends now, aren't they?
Yeah.
He said good things about him twice.
Yeah, they did well.
Yeah. So that would have gave him a boost when he eventually got kicked out. But he'd have left quite happily for that. With that one.
And there's a season 2 coming.
Yeah.
Expected to be out by the second half of next year, apparently. But that's a bit mad, though, because these are the top chefs in Korea already. So who are they going to find for season 2?
Yeah.
They're going to have to branch out and find overseas chefs.
I loved it when it started and all the chefs were there and they're all like, huh? Are all the chefs in Korea shut? Not all the chefs.
All the restaurants in Korea
restaurants shut in Korea?
Yeah.
That's right. I was thinking, I was like, oh my God, all the top dogs are here.
And the fact that they knew a lot of these chefs, they were like, oh, that's Chef blah de blah from blah de blah Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
And that's the dim sum queen.
Yeah.
And that is the best Chinese chef in Korea.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Great cast.
Prop, whoever put that together,
contestant.
that must have been mad to arrange.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they've done an amazing job putting that together.
Yeah, and I think one of them were like, I weren't going to enter this competition, but I thought, what a great experience. And he was glad that he did.
Yeah. What I find pretty mental is these are people with amazing careers already, decades of work. They don't need to be doing this.
No.
They don't need to be competing and doing this. They don't need a problem. They don't need the stress and anxiety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't need to bring that upon themselves.
It's just passion, isn't it? The passion for cooking.
They
and
really showed
to see how much you can push yourself and what you can achieve. And it's a great experience.
Yeah. I bet they all networked really well. I bet they're all like friends and stuff now.
Yeah. And to be honest, I'm sure it's done amazing things for their career. Since this been on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're getting restaurant fully booked, more customers. They're getting advertisements. Some of these are like ambassadors for certain, ingredients, products.
Wow.
They're on magazine covers. They're doing a lot of events.
Crazy.
So I'm sure they're doing really well. Like number 1 omakase.
Yeah, I think she's number 1. Was it number 1, number 2?
Yeah, she won't call herself number 2. It's definitely number 1.
All right.
She's very popular right now. I'm sure she's doing really well.
Wow.
So yeah, the exposure for them is only good. it can only be a positive thing.
Yeah, great publicity.
So even if you didn't make it to the end, I'm sure it's done great stuff for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet that guy's one piece of meat is selling for lots.
Yeah, his salt and pepper beef.
Yeah. Before I forget, Chef Anne and his fixation with well-cooked veg. That was amazing. I just loved it. He was like, that veg is really well cooked. It's great Korean produce and it's just cooked to perfection. That veg has saved the dish. You want to impress this guy, just cook your veg well and have no wastage on the plate. On the plate, have nothing that's there just for design or whatever else. Make it all an actual component of the dish and cook your veg well and you've got him. That show has left me like...
Wanting to cook?
No.
Oh.
But it has left... Okay, look, if I had the time and stuff, I would, all right? And when I say time, it'll probably take me ages to cook like
the dishes were so inspiring though. Like, it's got people cooking, you know, that like going out their way to buy gochujang and buying these ingredients that they'd never had in the kitchen. Like, my brother messaged me the other day saying, I'm going to make that garlic pasta that they made. It looks banging. And then my sister replied, what? You mean alio e olio? You know what I mean? Like, and that gochujang butter, like, genius. Why didn't I think of that before?
I don't know, what are these flavours like, these gochujangs?
Like, you've had it before because I've made you a dish with it before. So that's
like it?
So gochujang is the red pepper paste. Yeah. So it's literally a paste made from Korean red peppers.
Right.
And it's got a kick to it. And so they made a dish. I can't remember what the dish was. Was it pasta? I can't remember. But they made, you know, like how you can have garlic butter.
Yeah.
Blah de blah butter and all these herb butters. So one of them made gochujang butter. So I'm going to experiment with that at some point this week because I have butter and I have gochujang in the fridge. So I'm actually really tempted to make gochujang butter.
We've got a jang in the fridge?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that's that red one?
Yeah, red one.
Oh my. See that?
So a tablespoon of gochujang, a tablespoon of some nice salted butter or unsalted perhaps, and that with some vegetables even.
Toast?
I'm sure. No.
All right.
Or in pasta would be great. So I can't wait to try it. But yeah, very inspiring.
Okay. No, that sounds good. I was saying that show has left me tasting food differently.
Yes.
So not the cooking side, but the tasting side. So now I actually savour the flavour. I look around a little bit, take a big mouthful. The mouthfuls were big, weren't they? Is it just me? Like when you go on the Bake Off people, they just get it and yeah. But like these guys, they were like proper 5 minutes of like going for it. I'm like, editor. And then they go, did you make it yourself? Did you taste it? Is it your first time making it? You survived. And it's like, I was like, why don't you just say like, I just wanted to say like, to the ones who didn't survive, you're dead or something. Do you know what I mean? But basically, it's got me tasting food differently. Like I will now like savor it and taste it.
It's funny, like what you expect. They not expect, but when they say you survived, like that's okay. Like you can live with that. But when they taste it and then they say you're eliminated, it's brutal, isn't it? Like brutal. I found that hilarious.
Yeah, it
like
is.
The way. Or maybe it's because we watched like the dubbed.
It is. It's the language that was used.
Of course, yeah. And like like the translation is just funny. Like you're eliminated.
Yeah.
And then they just walk off.
Yeah.
No mercy, just ruthless.
Proper. Like honestly, that was a proper villain situation at the start with that guy. It really was. So yes, it's left me tasting food differently, and it's left you inspired.
Yes. Yeah. I will venture into more Korean ingredients.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. I actually like how many Chinese ingredients and Chinese dishes were like.
Oh yes, I was gonna say there was a lot of like Chinese cooking, weren't there, in
Big
the
shout
show?
out to Chinese cooking.
There were which shows like in Korea, like Chinese cuisine must be very popular.
Yeah.
There must be a lot of Chinese food, Chinese chefs
Yeah.
in Korea, and it's blended in their food
Yeah.
as well. You know what I mean? Like the amount of times we saw chefs cooking mapo tofu.
Yeah.
And the other dish is, we don't eat it, but it's that pork dish. Did you see that fat belly pork? And they
Right.
were like stewing it.
Right.
That's a very old school traditional dish. Dongboro is called.
Okay. I kept hearing them talking about dumporo.
Yeah, they were obsessed. They loved that.
Right.
So
right.
I'm guessing that might be a very popular
So that's
Chinese
a Chinese dish.
in
Oh,
Korea.
You're guessing. Right.
Yeah.
No, but is it a Chinese
It
dish?
is a Chinese dish, yeah.
Oh, right. So that's
It
a
is.
Chinese dish. Mapo tofu is a Chinese dish.
Yeah.
And there were lots of other highlighted Chinese dishes, of course.
Yeah.
The dim sum, obviously, is all Chinese. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dim sum's Chinese, yeah. Mapo tofu is one of these dishes. It's a Chinese dish, very authentic Chinese dish. And it's actually popular in not just in China. It's actually very popular in Japan and Korea. Like Koreans have their like tofu stews, but mapo tofu is like the use of, Chinese chilies and things, and the sauce, the base comes from China. So, but it's good to see that it's popular in all over Asia.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the mapo flavour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's a kick to it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great flavour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the tofu's bland, but then the sauce is like hot and peppery, and
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, great shout out to Chinese cuisine out there. Nice to see other things celebrated too. The Italian cuisine, nice to see it celebrated. Yeah, nice enough, and being made to a high standard, and great to learn about the Korean side of things as well.
Yeah.
So I really like how that was all done in that show.
I like that they celebrated their jangs.
The Jangs, yeah.
Yeah.
The Jang man. It was him. It was him really. He brought the Jangs, like screaming Jang, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, his restaurant was even called Mr. Jang, like in the mukbang challenge. So yeah, really well put together, really well done. I think that's everything. What do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the two final dishes?
To be honest with you, the two final dishes, I can't. All I remember, you go for it.
Well, I'm going to put it out there that I liked Chef Lee's final dish more. The sweet one.
Yeah, it was clever.
The tteokbokki.
Some kind of ice cream or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, he made it basically, but he blended the tteokbokkis into the blender and made a sweet dish out of it. Usually it's a savoury dish.
What is tteokbokki?
The roll, the rice roll.
A rice roll.
Yeah.
Wow. So was it rice?
It's a rice cake.
So that was a rice cake that he made into like almost like an ice cream.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Made a dessert into it. And I thought that was really creative. I think that would taste nice. That is something that I would order. I think it would be a very popular dish if it was served in a restaurant. But yeah.
You want to talk about Napoli's final dish or not bothered?
Yeah, it was a nice dish. It looked nice. I mean, I don't know. But I don't know. I felt like it was a very safe choice. I thought it was a very safe option, a safe dish. Of course, I'm sure he executed it perfectly too. And, the little red heart pasta shape with the lamb heart in it was cool. I'm sure he took a lot of time in thinking and planning that dish. And yeah, it worked out well for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I mean, I just wish Edward Lee had won. That's what I'm thinking. I liked his story. I liked his celebration of, like Korean food and stuff. So
Yeah.
I like that, and I liked his story about identity. I'm sure that's something a lot of people can like relate to.
Yeah.
And so I really like that he brought that to the forefront. Very interesting. But that's basically everything for me. Everything for you. All right, so we'll call it there. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Culinary Class Wars. And that's the end of this. We will catch you guys in the next one. So hit subscribe, hit like, hit share, all the rest of it. Comment down below with all of your thoughts, relevant or irrelevant. Bang it in the comments below. And I will catch you in the next one. See you later.
See ya.